Why do you believe your decisions are always rational? This is the question cognitive biases pose. They're mental shortcuts, ingrained patterns of thinking that can cloud our judgment. Cognitive biases subtly shape our perceptions, often leading us to conclusions that, on second glance, might not be as rational as we initially thought. They operate below the surface of our consciousness, steering our decisions like a hidden hand. Now that we understand what cognitive biases are, let's delve into some world facts that show their prevalence and impact. Starting with number 5, have you ever noticed how attractive people seem to have it all? This might be due to the halo effect, a cognitive bias where our overall impression of a person sways how we perceive their character. For instance, we often assume good-looking individuals are also smart, kind, and successful. This bias not only shapes our personal relationships, but it also influences hiring decisions and jury verdicts. So, next time you find yourself drawn to someone's good looks, remember the halo effect. At number 4, have you ever found yourself only paying attention to information that confirms your existing beliefs? This is known as the confirmation bias. It's a psychological phenomenon where we tend to favor information that aligns with our pre-existing beliefs or values. For instance, if you believe that cats are better than dogs, you are more likely to seek out and remember information that supports this belief. Remember, it's always important to consider all perspectives, not just those that support our own views. Coming in at number 3, have you ever made an estimate based on an initial value, only to find out it was way off? This is the anchoring bias at play, a cognitive bias that influences our decision-making by relying too heavily on the first piece of information we encounter. It's like going shopping and seeing a shirt marked down from $100 to $50. You think you're getting a steal, but in reality the shirt was always worth $50. So remember, don't let that first piece of information anchor your decision-making. At number 2, do you find that recent information is more influential in your decision-making? This phenomenon is known as the availability heuristic, a cognitive bias that leads us to overestimate the likelihood of events with greater availability in our memory. For instance, after seeing news about a plane crash, you might perceive air travel as more dangerous, despite statistics showing it's safer than driving. So, be aware of the influence of recent information on your decisions. And finally, at number 1, have you ever met someone who is blissfully unaware of their incompetence? Welcome to the world of the Dunning-Kruger Effect. This cognitive bias sees individuals with low ability overestimating their prowess. It's like a tone-deaf singer believing they're the next big pop sensation. It's everywhere, from the workplace to social media. The real kicker? The less skilled you are, the less likely you are to recognize your shortcomings. So be humble, because you might just be experiencing the Dunning-Kruger effect. These are just a few examples of how our minds can play tricks on us. The halo effect, confirmation bias, anchoring bias, availability heuristic, and the Dunning-Kruger effect all reflect the fascinating yet deceptive world of cognitive biases. Subscribe for more because you won't find me later.